Hello.
Hi everyone.
Hi, Shab.
Hi, Shab.
Hi everyone.
Hey, good morning.
Okay, I think today, Majid, you wanted to show us if you could try the
Sure.
writing.
Yes. Hi. Hi, everyone. So we attempted to see what we could fill in. Before I start on the drive, there is one UCIe one that Kevin you've done. It's version 2B, right? And
It's a while ago, but I'm sure you're correct. Let me open it up.
right. And I saw some discrepancies between the version that Shahab has updated. I think,
Right.
but
The
but
spreadsheet you mean may have changed.
yes,
Yeah, you're probably right.
okay, okay. But anyways, that's that's just a background because I tried to actually compare because we were expecting similar number. So
And is that the one that also had the blue cheetah column? I did show that in a previous meeting, but I can't remember if I uploaded it.
oh no, the one of UCI, I don't see a blue cheetah column.
Okay,
So
I'll add it.
maybe because yeah, because okay, so if I go on that website, you'll see that it's not
Okay,
yeah.
I'll
I
take
think
care
it
of
would
that.
yeah, it should be good that we have a AUCIE that's the base using the latest spreadsheet. But okay, that's a separate item. All right, so let me share my screen. Um,
So I finally got in. It was version 2 from July 23rd was the one I did. So that is
yeah,
probably what you're talking about. And I think part of it was iterative where we kept finding things and changing them.
right.
So it is, I'm sure not.
It's the one I'm showing.
Yeah, you
Okay.
can see that Shahab, the Excel is from a month later. So it definitely
And you still
there's
had
some
some
updating.
questions regarding these
Probably, yeah.
some of the rows, okay?
Yep,
And
exactly.
and actually on those, I think we had similar conclusion that there is some kind of redundancy there. It may become, I mean, that's one of the questions that we wanted. So now, let me make sure. Yes. Okay. So what we have, I'm showing here is because our glass wing, I mean, it's a relatively older one. So we have this thing called Tiger Wing now, and it's in development, and it's sort of dual mode UCIe cord. Okay.
Hmm.
And in a way, there should be no surprises. They should be similar to what you have. Uh, and I checked some of them. Obviously, those are some that make sense. And based on that, actually, I thought that this clocking data rate QDR, did you also mean on your case the same? I understood that. Is that
UCI allows DDR or QDR.
Right,
Spec allows
exactly.
both.
Right, okay.
But a receiver can request one or the other. So the PHY is set up for one or the other. In this case, I said just DDR. It could easily be QDR though, and still be UCIe.
Okay.
I agree.
Yeah. All right. So that's one thing. And then doubly terminated. I think in our case, you know, in terms of ohms, there were some differences, but that's a minor thing. But because we are trying to make a UCIe compatible, and we've made, you should have similar kind of things. Okay.
Are you in standard packaging?
Yes.
Organic?
Yes.
Okay, so it is
Yeah.
double terminated then. Okay, that makes sense.
Right. And then the rate is 32. And the way we're doing it, we were using this 8-wire because in the case of chord, you need 7-bit over 8-wire and things like that. So that's how it's used. And as you go down, so this is we use the latest spreadsheet. Okay. So some of the columns were moved up and down.
Right.
And so I think it's something that we could kind of make sure that we use the same one and interpret it the same, right? So the ones that that you had questions, we still, I think our guys filled it still, even though effectively when you're looking at total area and what it enters in figure of merits, actually, it's not derived from these. So that's a question for you, Shahab. Is that something that we need to make sure there is some kind of if statement, or what is the, and you know, Kevin had this similar question then. Is that question resolved or corresponds to the white paper?
Can you explain what you mean by with if scenario?
Well, because if you go to the figure of merits, those values are not used, right? So what this gives you a little bit, you know, you could say you would know the clocking area as a result of these fields. Is that the intention?
Not just the clocking area. This is just physical information related to this IP, correct?
Okay.
I,
But
I think it does.
4041 gives you the total area of the single channel. Then you have a
4041.
Then 42.
So that those numbers should be used in the figure of merits below. And then the area of a single transmitter or receiver or clocking are not, as you said. I agree with you, those aren't used below, but I think the total area
should be derived
40
from
and 41 or part of one of the figures of merit. You have to look at the equations. I can't remember anymore. I haven't looked at it recently. Is there aerial? It's so line 69 and 70. 69 uses one of them just for the edge density, and 70 uses both. It should point to those rows. I think. Is that right, Shahab?
Yeah, but let's for now ignore the FOM because we can come back and check. First, let's go over the data entry portion of it, then we can review the FOM.
Right. Okay. So I'm having a hard time with removing this top menu of Zoom in order to see what are those fields. So, right. So if I go down here, the formula that's used, it's rate and what is it? E6649. So 49 is just maximum stack units. And then 37 is bump. So effective. Okay, so that's normal. That's not using. It's not. But what should use wherever we have area as part of parameter, somewhere should. But long story short, I didn't find anywhere those numbers that are red to be used. Could
Yeah,
you
that doesn't matter that we are using it or not for now. Just ignore the FOM. Let's review
Okay.
the data.
Okay. Right. Okay. So yes. So I think these were fine. We entered them. These other things were also fine. So I think no surprise. The only thing we left, because we're still trying to optimize. Right now, I still made it not available bit because that's an important figure of merits. So
That's totally fine. I think you can put NDA, but our goal was actually to make sure that the text that we provided with this Excel sheet is sufficient enough to fill out all the form, all
right.
the parameters.
Which I come to. So if so you have the section numbers properly referenced here. It would be good in calculated parameters also have.
Sure, we will get to the FOM. Just
Right.
first
Yeah.
focus on the data entry. I think the FOM.
So the data, I think the data entry is good as based on what I said, minus this comment that I had about, is this redundant or is it not used or whatever. But I think that we understand the intention. We understand the intention.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, can you go from the top? I just want to make sure that you don't have any empty things, or if you do, what should we cover?
Right.
IP licensing, open design, free fee or fee? You said NA.
Yeah, that's something that we have to decide. I mean, in our case, but if there's a UCIe mode that we're using, obviously is exactly like UCIe. So free fee is, but the chord I think would be different, right? So I have to see what.
And I see that termination, you said doubly terminated, but you also put the ohmic value. That's
Yes.
missing in our text. Should we ask people to report the termination or?
We thought that there is a distinction. Maybe it's useful.
Yeah, that's my comment. That's an interesting point. I never thought about it, that we report the termination value. I'm asking basically everybody who's on a call. Should we modify and say termination value or not?
I think at the end of the day, it matters. Some people have to use lower termination. Some people, they don't have. So this could be a good indication.
Okay, then I have Armin and Majid to recommend that we have another line called termination value, correct?
Right.
Correct, yeah. And of course, RX and TX separately, because they might be different.
Any objection, Kevin, Mark, and others who are on the call? Sorry, I don't see all the list.
I don't see why we would object to the termination value. I mean, but now, sorry, now that I said that, I'm questioning, does it benefit the end user, right? They're not going to have a choice in the matter of what the termination value is, and the things that they're going to care about are going to be the PPA. So is the absolute value of the termination important?
Yes, and also for inter-op, if for example, you say you are matched with, I don't know, BO or UCIe, it's good that when people compare two implementation, one for transmitter, one for receiver, they make sure that the termination is the same or as expected.
But are they going to get that information from this spreadsheet, or are they going to get it from the user manuals of the products that they're using?
It's true, I think.
But it's a complementary information. It's not not really relevant to parameters, but it's complementary. It also says something about, you know, maybe design
And a little
approach.
bit of the power if we are comparing the power dissipation.
Right. So I don't know. I don't have any preference, but you know, we noticed that that's something that makes, you know, was picked up as we look at the options.
Yeah,
So,
I'm not against it. I'm just, my comments are, is it relevant? I guess is my question. The existence of it, yes, that's relevant. The value, I'm not sure it's as relevant.
like 50-30. I mean, okay, for interop definitely makes sense, right?
Okay,
I'm
Mark.
okay either way, Shahab. But I just had a question that made me think of, have we received any feedback from the server committee?
Not
And
yet, and I got your email also on the step 6 for uploading, but I think that's out of our hand. They have to upload it. We can't do it. Or at least there is no place to upload.
yeah, I think you have to request someone like Rob to upload it, but if you haven't had feedback, then we can't. So we could still, in theory, make changes, and we're definitely not going to publish soon, it sounds like.
Yeah, that's why I
In the
think
process.
either this version or next version, we can push for this version as
Yeah, and remember the couple of minor changes we had.
correct. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, then let's see. Go based
I
on
think
Robert rules. Majid, are you proposing to add the value of termination?
yes, I think it's optional. Good.
And I think
Good.
Armin can second this motion. Anybody against that?
But we're the same company. It's hard to second.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we don't have a very strong recommendations. We just felt this could be useful when it comes to power estimations, when it comes to the sensitivity of system to termination. Some systems are not sensitive. Yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, if we don't have any objection, then let's add it. I think it's gonna take, or at least we will add it to that to-do list. If we find time, we will add it. But I just want to make sure that there's nobody strongly against it. Mark, I didn't hear that you are strongly against it either.
No, I'm not strongly against it. I just, my comment was just for mainly for readability. That's all.
Okay, then I will add the to-do list to add one more section and say, okay, in case of yes, terminated, please report transmitter and receiver termination value in O. Okay,
Good.
and then
Shahab, there was a you know, when discussing internally with Armin, there was a comment that came up that wherever possible we should sort of have a pull down option, because I noticed that, you know, wording can change from one filling versus the other. I don't know if it makes sense, but
yeah, definitely it makes sense because I see 11 and 12 from your side, it's design phase, which is not a valid input.
okay. That's good.
Basically, your correct 12 is gonna be non and maybe a spec available or a spec under development, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely makes sense. Yeah.
Sure, let me just write down that, actually pull down. Okay, can you scroll down? I just want to see what
All
are.
right. So the next items are less controversial. Data lanes and all the other stuff.
Okay, number of power supply and values 0.8, 0.5, IO swing. Why do we have two?
Yeah, I think it's because we this is a
No,
dual mode.
the 31 is okay, but 32, I do see you have two modes.
Should we report it 2 times, 2 columns, the 2 modes
Yeah,
that
I
we
think
have?
that the correct way is to report it in 2 columns.
Okay.
Okay. So here You're
Okay.
saying create a, okay, so let me make sure I mark this. Okay. Same with the above. Yeah. All right.
Okay, if we just go further down, I see a red one. It said 2 signal layers. I think that's actually wrong too.
Which one? Which lane? Which row?
It's not based on the description of the white paper. Either you have to say 2 layers, then it implies that you're using info. If you are not info or silicon interposer, but if you are using standard package, then you have to say 2-2 or 424, something like that. I assume it's 424, correct?
Correct. Correct, Armin?
I think we are doing 6 to 6. Because it is compatible with, you say, even you could say 8 to 8.
Yeah, but remember, I think this is gonna come against you later because you have a maximum stackable unit as 1. It means 1 unit for sure requires six signal layers.
Ah, okay.
Then are you sure about that, or?
We need 2 signal layers, but the extra layers are only to support those sidebands and so on from UCIe. Otherwise,
But those can be done through the bottom layers, correct?
with the bottom layers as well, yeah.
Then 424 is from my understanding, is the correct things that you can have.
Yeah, yeah.
Sorry, it's your IP, but I don't wanna.
No, that's correct.
No.
Maybe we had some confusion understanding why they have put 8 to 8, because it's very.
For my understanding, when I look at this table, then I say, hey, if I have an 8 to 8, I can stack 2 of this one. Then the maximum stackable unit, if you can pick 2, then you can have 8 to 8. Then basically your bandwidth density goes higher.
Yeah, and if I compare it with what, yeah, you have 8 to 8 here from Kevin's. So, Armin, does this make it compatible then with UCIe? There's nothing.
Yeah, I think it is compatible still because as Schaub said, we could route the sidebands on backside of the PCB. Yeah.
Okay.
Definitely, yeah. Sidebands are not part of it.
Okay. All right.
And we got to what is latency? I do see
2 nano. Yeah. I think this was some ambiguity on our engineers who filled it, but I think our goal is again to be, to meet the UCIe numbers.
Yeah, but if
I
you
mean,
know for UI, you know your UI, you can just write it down, correct?
right.
I knew
I'll
this
just say,
is gonna
just say 2 nanosecond. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Is the units you are forcing everyone to say it in nanosecond? You don't want different things.
The idea was nanoseconds, or that was the expectation, yeah.
Yeah. And then BR, again, I think these are compatible. I don't know if you have these numbers final, but my expectation is that we will be similar to 1E minus 15 and 21 that you have here. Okay,
And
but
imagine that. Remember, we are not going to publish this data. And
no, I know, no, but I'm just
I just wanted to make sure that the explanation of the each row in the
correct,
paper is enough for users to follow. That's it.
right?
I think,
Yeah, and
Shahab, before I forget, we had one more confusion because we crossed it. Majid, it was about signaling and signaling, right?
okay,
It was at the
yeah.
top. One of them was about single-ended differential, and the other one was about PAM. And both of them were using the term signaling. That at least create for us a bit of confusion initially.
Correct.
Does that make sense, Shahab? We wanted to.
I think I have to check the white paper. I think over there maybe different name.
Okay.
But that was something actually the modification we made slightly was related to this in the white paper, right? But I think it's good to clarify this because I think even there was a bit of ambiguity that.
And can you go to section 1.5 and 1.3 if you don't mind?
1.5.
You can look at it here too. That's a logical link. 1.4 is a single-ended differential. Number 5 is signaling type. At least the name in the white paper is different. But we didn't name actually 1.4.
Yeah, this was something that actually I kind of touched in the white paper.
I think arming comments is more about the naming because for both of them in table we are calling that signaling type.
Right.
That's correct. Yeah.
Should I change 1.5 to coding? Or that doesn't make sense?
Coding or modulation. I don't know what is the correct name.
Any suggestion for renaming signaling type on item 1.5?
So what you meant was really PAM, right? So because PAM is modulation, then maybe it makes more sense.
Yeah, NRZ is also kind of
modulation. Yeah.
Modulation too. Then modulation type.
Yeah.
Yeah, we are opening up then if anybody wants to use QAM or coherency, anything in future.
Yeah, a lot of people are using already PAM4.
Yeah. Okay, then any objection, I will rename 1.4 to signaling type and 1.5 to modulation type.
Signaling type and modulation type?
Yes, signaling type is single-ended or differential.
So what signaling type now will become modulation type.
Correct. Line number 7 or in the white paper 1.5 becomes modulation type.
Yeah, the white paper numbers are over on the right. So 1.5 becomes modulation type and 1.4, which is 2 lines above, will become signaling type.
Yeah, instead of just signaling, you just become.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Any objection? One space between signaling.
Yeah, you need a space between signaling and type.
Okay, we have only 1 minute.
Yeah,
Thanks.
we're out
Yes.
of time. I gotta have to drop here, but did you do any logistical planning for our talk next week, Shahab?
I will send the presentation to everyone by maybe end of today or tomorrow for review. I think we are good.
Okay, but who's going to talk about what is also a discussion or a suggestion you should make. Okay.
I will do that.
Okay.
And I think Shahab, Kevin, while you're, I think these are the ones that it would be nice to have
Yeah,
references.
I will take it offline and I will modify it. I think that the difficult part is first we have to calculate the bandwidth density or beachfront first. And from beachfront, then the rest is going to be easy.
What, sorry, your question is what, you want the section numbers there?
I think
Yeah.
next week we can actually review the calculation, the calculated part, the pink one. I suggest that we have first a line to calculate the beachfront density, at least the beachfront, and then from beachfront to beachfront density, and then all the FOM is going to come up correctly.
Sure.
As I
But-
see right now,
But all of them have sections in the white paper, so it's easy to add section numbers. So I don't know why they're not there. I don't remember
no
that.
section numbers, Kevin. These are calculated based on the upper part.
I understand, but the calculations are described in the white paper. So there are
Correct.
corresponding sections.
Correct.
It's in this chapter 4, not, well, yeah, you could just look, there it is right there.
Right.
So all 4.1 could have been written, you know, in the gray box there.
Yeah, that's correct.
I don't know why, I don't know why I didn't do that. I honestly don't remember. Anyways, I have to drop, I'm sorry. But
Okay.
yeah,
All
we
right,
can definitely
thanks.
do that, Majid, sure. Next week is OCP, so I will see you guys in 2 weeks in this meeting, right?
Perfect. Thanks.
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 Thank you, everyone.
Thanks. All right. Thanks.
All right, thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.